Alright, so to continue the ATS trailer mod tutorial series here, we're going to add a second and a third axle to the short Walbert. Or is that what's called, Walbert trailer? I guess a few different truck companies use the short trailer. But it's the short single axle trailer, the box trailer, that I modified in the first tutorial. So what we're going to do is add a second and third axle to it. So one thing we're going to have to do is go ahead and open your American Truck Simulator back up, and you're going to have to copy the defs.scs file. So go ahead and copy that. And then we're going to put it in that ATS mod folder, go into the base folder, and paste it into here. Now you're going to have def.scs. Now go ahead and drag it to the extractor again. So it's going to extract that, and it's going to merge it in here with all these other files. Now go ahead and open up the def folder, and then just go ahead and right-click. Or actually, just go ahead and copy the whole def folder. We're going to copy the whole def folder. We're going to go back to our mod folder and then paste it here. So you're going to have vehicle and def folder now. The def folder contains all the configuration files for the trailer. So go ahead and open it up. And now I'm going to delete everything but the vehicles folder. Open the vehicles folder. Now I'm going to delete everything but... Make sure I get this right. Everything but trailer. So now you're going to have def vehicles, trailer, go into trailer. I'm going to delete everything but box. And so the box folder and box.c. I'm going to delete everything but those two. So inside the box folder, you have a chassis C, and inside the trailer folder, you have a box C. So go ahead and open up box C with any notepad editor. So the first thing you're going to notice here is the accessories are the chassis and one wheel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, paste it, and name it 1. So chassis 0 and chassis 1. Now you're going to go down here and copy this and paste it again. So you're going to have right wheel 0, and you're going to need to change that to 1. And another thing you're going to want to do is change the offset to 2. So it's going to go in duplicates here. There might be another way to do this. One thing to mention when we do this, I have been notified that they only allow up to 9 axles. And this particular config here that I'm going to be showing you goes in even numbers. So in theory, this method I'm going to show you, I've only tested it with up to 4 axles. I tried a 5th and I can't get it to take it. So we're only going to add 2 axles to make it a total of 3. So again, here we're going to come up here, add a third axle. Remember, it starts at 0, so we're going to have 0, 1, and 2, which is a total of 3 axles. Copy this one again. Now we have axle 0, axle 1, axle 2, total of 3 axles, and we're going to change this offset to 4. So now we just added 2 more axles. Now go ahead and save that. Now open up the box and open up chassis.c. Now we're going to come down here. This one's a lot more simple. We're literally just going to duplicate this line 2 more times. This should be commented out, so this part here shouldn't need to be changed, but I'm going to do it anyways. Just to make it make a little more sense. So first, second, and third axle. So we basically told the game, hey, this is how this is going to work. So now we have a total of 3 axles inside the chassis file, and we have a total of 3 axles inside the actual trailer. So go ahead and close that. Go ahead and open Blender back up. Now what we're going to do here, we're going to go over to the right, and you're going to see trailer. I forgot where it's at. Is it in collision? No, collision doesn't make sense. Viz, here we go. So open up the Viz tree. Scroll on down. You'll see wheel R0, wheel R1. Now, if you look over here, I'm looking at the rear axle here. So 0 is going to be the left rear, and 1 is going to be the right rear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Shift. I'm going to click 1. I'm going to hit Shift on the next one. You'll see how they're both orange, and I have 2 of them now. I'm going to go over here to Object, Duplicate Objects. Now you're going to notice how it's all flying around once I hit Duplicate. I'm going to right-click, and it's going to put it back to its original position. And then I'm just literally going to move it forward like so. I don't actually have a reference to the correct spacing to the wheels because I don't have the actual physical tires in the game. So I'm just kind of going to guess. I'm probably going to space them out a little more than they need to be spaced. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'll widen this up a little bit so you can see it. So now you notice when we duplicated it, it added some different extensions to the end of it. So 0. So these two zeros are both right sides. I want one of those to be 1 or 2, I'm sorry. So 2, and don't forget those brackets. That's very important when you're naming it. So then again, this one here will be 3. If you double click, it allows you to rename it. So now you're going to have axle 0, or wheel 0, wheel 1, wheel 2, and wheel 3. Now doing that same method, by shift selecting those two, I'm going to duplicate again, object, duplicate objects. And you're just going to freak out. I'm going to right click so that it moves it back. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to drag it over again. So now you see I have 2 and 3 duplicated. I'm going to rename this one to 4. Rename this one here to 5. So now I have axle 4 and 5. So 0, 1. As you can see, it goes in 2. So the first axle is going to be 0 and 1. Second axle is going to be 2 and 3. Third axle is going to be 4 and 5. So that's how simple that is for actually adding the wheel positions to the axles. So now I'm going to go ahead and save that. Then I'm going to go to File, Export, ETS2 PMD. Now over here, I have a preset for it. So remember, we're exporting it to Vehicles, Trailer, Box. So Vehicles, Trailer, Box. So it's going to put it right in here. So that's correct. Now I'm going to I am not sure if this is relative or not. I've actually not changed that and it's worked. I'm just going to name it trailer.pmd because there is an actual trailer.pmd in here. I'm not sure if that part's important or if it's going to take information from the model and name it properly. But one thing I do need to do is change the directory. We need to go back to the mod directory. Or actually, yeah, this mod directory. So you want to be in your ATS mod. Make sure that's right. Make sure you're on version 1.4x. Export SCS model. Should be as simple as that. Now we should be able to minimize. Now, one little trick I'm going to do here. That previous mod archive that we made. So I'm going to go to Documents, American Truck Simulator, mod.scs. I'm actually just going to open it up. And what that's going to do is it's going to give me the information here. I'm literally going to select all these folders, drag it into here, and it's going to ask how I want to update. When you update that SCS file, make sure you go to Store, which is 0 compression. Then I'm just going to hit OK. Wait for it to update. I just realized what I did. I did that wrong. Ignore what I just did. I told you to copy from the wrong directory. You want to copy out of the mod directory. You don't want to. So I'm going to update that archive again. Store. There we go. Nice and updated. Now you can close that, close that, close that. Open up the game. I'm going to show you how to quick test your trailers too, so you don't have to load in and go find your trailer. So I'm going to continue game. You're going to go to About down here at the bottom. Review trailers available in the game. It's going to load up this. So now you're going to come down to Box Trailer. Looky there, you have a short triple axle trailer. As you can see, my tires are touching. You'll definitely want to correct that. You can pretty much guesstimate correct that, or you can import the tire model in and use it as a reference with your dummies when you're positioning your axles. But just for this demonstrational purpose, that should be pretty good. So that's how you add second and third. And like I said, you can add up to 4 axles. With beta version 1.2, there is a chance you can do more axles with older versions. So that's another option if you need to add more than 4 of those axles with the same method I did. So I hope this works for you guys.